of Hermes products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
Our artisans? It takes a grueling 4 years of training just to make a single Kelly bag. That's not something you just walk into. This level of craftsmanship is intense. The bag you just saw? That's a piece of art, and trust me, you can't fake this kind of skill. But here's the wild part. Some of Hermès' most iconic products, yes, those Birkins and Kellys, are actually made in China. You heard that right. These luxury bags are coming from a factory in Shandong, China, the same place that also produces goods for Chanel and IKEA. And it doesn't stop there. Men's shoes, paper goods, even some of the brand's high-end accessories, all made in Shandong. I had to check this out myself on my first Hermes shopping experience, and believe me, it was a ride. We were flooded with requests to do Hermes. So here we are, right here at Highland Park Mall. Sure, made in Italy is still a thing, but oh yes, made in China is officially part of the luxury game. Some brands even get extra creative with those labels. Made in Chile could be a thing next. But here's where things really pop. Hermes, the luxury titan, is in full-blown panic mode right now. Why? Because they're suing the very same Chinese manufacturers who exposed their multi-million-dollar secret. And I'm not talking about knockoffs here. These factories were producing the real Birkins and Kellys, the bags you drop $20,000 for in-store. Now, these manufacturers are blowing the whistle, revealing that the bags, those made in France icons, are actually being crafted in China. And guess what? The receipts don't lie. Hermes took these partially made bags from China, slapped on a logo or button in France, and boom, suddenly they're made in France. That's the trick. The real question now is, how long can they keep hiding this secret? With the truth coming out, it's shaking the very foundation of the luxury fashion world. Now, here's the kicker. Hermes isn't just sitting back and accepting this exposure. Nope, they're taking legal action. They're suing multiple Chinese factories for defamation and misuse of intellectual property. But here's the thing. These factories were legally contracted to produce these luxury bags. Hermes knew about it. They were in on it. So why are they acting like they just woke up and realized these factories even exist? Let's do the math. Hermes made a whopping $15.2 billion in 2024. But with Chinese factories pumping out 80% of these bags, where are all these so-called French artisans creating them by hand? The numbers aren't adding up. And here's the wild part. It's not just Hermes. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Prada are doing the same thing, outsourcing the bulk of their production to China while slapping on a Made in Italy or Made in France tag. The truth is finally out, and it's not what we thought. So, if you're still paying $25,000 for a bag that came out of the same factory as a $400 dupe, ask yourself, what are you really paying for? The brand illusion. You won't believe how the magic really happens behind those iconic luxury bags. In reality, Chinese factories are responsible for producing around 80% of the core components, handling everything from leatherwork to stitching and cutting with precision. Once the heavy lifting is done overseas, Hermes steps in, adding a simple stamp or attaching a button in France, and suddenly the bag earns the prestigious Made in France label. This hidden process fuels the illusion of pure French craftsmanship, an image that Hermes has sold to the world for decades. However, as industry insiders and whistleblowers started exposing the truth, cracks in the facade began to show, and Hermes found itself scrambling to contain the damage. Faced with a brewing PR nightmare, Hermes went into full panic mode to protect its billion-dollar brand image. Instead of addressing the outsourcing revelations directly, they doubled down on the illusion through carefully curated marketing, highlighting French artisans at work and polished factory videos. But with the truth now circulating across YouTube, TikTok, and Google search results, the luxury world's best-kept secret is out in the open. Consumers are beginning to realize that the Made in France label isn't always what it seems, and the trust that brands like Hermes spent years building is now hanging by a thread. In a desperate attempt to save face, Hermes quickly released a polished video showcasing workers in a French factory meticulously crafting handbags by hand, hoping to convince customers that every piece was truly made in France. The goal was clear: protect the brand's prestigious image at all costs. But the internet wasn't buying it, especially after Tanner Leatherstein entered the conversation. Tanner isn't just another TikTok sleuth. He's a respected leather expert with a massive following. known for exposing the real truth behind luxury fashion through jaw-dropping content that brands would rather you never see. Tanner's unique approach, buying high-end designer bags and slicing them open on camera, has uncovered shocking secrets that luxury giants have fought hard to keep hidden. From revealing cheap materials inside expensive bags to exposing manufacturing shortcuts, Tanner's videos have pulled back the curtain on the entire luxury industry. With millions watching and sharing his findings across YouTube, TikTok, and Google, Hermes and other top brands are now facing a credibility crisis they can't easily silence. Tanner Leatherstein first shook the luxury world when he exposed Chanel for quietly downgrading from real gold hardware to cheap plastic, an explosive revelation that sent shockwaves through the fashion industry. From there, he didn't slow down. Tanner turned his attention to dissecting other powerhouse brands like Louis Vuitton, Bulgari, and eventually set his sights on Hermes itself. Armed with his expert leather knowledge and fearless approach, Tanner built a massive following by doing what no luxury brand ever expected, literally cutting open their products on camera and revealing what was really hiding beneath the high-end logos. The moment Tanner got his hands on a Birkin, the so-called holy grail of luxury handbags, he didn't hold back. His investigation revealed a shocking truth. The real cost to produce an authentic Birkin bag is roughly $600, even when using top-tier leather and premium-grade hardware. Yet these same bags retail for an astronomical $14,000 to $38,000, exposing a massive markup built purely on brand perception. With numbers like that, it's no wonder more consumers are beginning to question what they're really paying for: the quality of the bag or just the illusion of untouchable luxury. Over the years, Tanner Leatherstein has invested over $100,000 of his own money buying and dissecting luxury bags to reveal the truth the fashion world doesn't want you to know. His shocking discoveries have sparked a massive online conversation, exposing hidden manufacturing practices, questionable material choices, and the inflated prices that customers have been blindly paying for decades. Tanner's fearless approach has peeled back the polished image of the luxury industry, forcing even loyal brand followers to take a hard look at what they're really investing in when they drop thousands on a so-called designer piece. Thanks to whistleblowers like Tanner, customers are starting to rethink everything they believed about iconic brands like Hermes, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton. The luxury world, once protected by secrecy and prestige, is now facing an unprecedented wave of skepticism, and the ripple effect is just beginning. With millions tuning in across YouTube, TikTok, and Google searches, the once untouchable reputation of high-end fashion houses is crumbling fast. One thing is clear: the era of blind trust in luxury branding may be coming to an end. Imagine Hermes watching this entire scandal spiral out of control, viral videos flooding social media, undeniable evidence surfacing, and consumers everywhere turning against the brand they once idolized. What started as whispers became a full-blown crisis. Investigations revealed a staggering truth. Around 80% of Hermes bags were being manufactured in China, with only minor finishing touches like a stamp or button added in France. For years, Hermes built its empire selling the illusion of pure French craftsmanship, all while quietly outsourcing the majority of the labor to overseas factories. As the backlash intensified, Hermes found itself at a crossroads. They could come clean and risk damaging their luxury image, or they could go on the attack. Unsurprisingly, the brand chose the second option. Instead of addressing the allegations, Hermes filed aggressive lawsuits against the very Chinese factories they had worked with, accusing them of defamation and intellectual property theft. This legal strategy was a clear attempt to shift the narrative, painting themselves as the victim rather than admitting to a long-running practice of outsourcing. What makes the situation even more outrageous is the fact that these factories weren't rogue operators. They were officially contracted by Hermes to produce these bags. The manufacturers followed Hermes' specifications to the letter, helping maintain the brand's high standards while keeping production costs low. Yet now, with their secrets exposed, Hermes is acting as if they had no ties to these facilities at all. The hypocrisy is glaring, and it's causing serious damage to the brand's once untouchable reputation. As more consumers wake up to the reality behind luxury marketing, the damage could be irreversible. Online discussions, YouTube exposés, and viral TikToks are fueling a new wave of skepticism around not just Hermes, but the entire luxury fashion industry. The image of handcrafted all-French luxury is crumbling, And in its place, a new understanding is emerging. Sometimes you're paying for the illusion, not the authenticity. When you start breaking down the numbers, the situation for Hermes looks even more troubling. In 2024 alone, Hermes reported an eye-popping $15.2 billion in revenue. Yet according to their official narrative, it supposedly takes a single artisan about 2 full days to handcraft just one Birkin bag. Do the math, and you quickly realize a major problem. There simply aren't enough artisans or enough hours in the day to meet global demand. The idea that every Hermes bag is patiently made by a handful of French craftsmen starts to fall apart under even basic scrutiny. And the more consumers dig into the logistics, the more suspicious the entire operation looks. The romantic image Hermes sells of small French workshops lovingly creating each handbag with old-world techniques is beginning to look less like a reality and more like an expertly crafted marketing fantasy. In reality, mass production, overseas outsourcing, and strategic final touches in France are doing most of the heavy lifting. As independent investigators and whistleblowers continue to peel back the layers, it's becoming harder and harder for Hermes to maintain the illusion of exclusivity and handcrafted perfection that they've built their empire on. Now, with this controversy exploding across YouTube, TikTok, and dominating Google search results, Hermes finds itself at a critical crossroads. Consumers who once bought into the dream are waking up, and they're asking tough questions about authenticity, labor practices, and whether luxury pricing is really justified anymore. Every new video, expose, and viral post only adds fuel to the fire, making it nearly impossible for Hermes to sweep the scandal under the rug. The trust that Hermes spent decades and billions of dollars cultivating is now hanging by a thread. And with whistleblowers, leather experts like Tanner Leatherstein, and a growing community of online investigators refusing to let the story die, the brand's once bulletproof reputation may soon become a cautionary tale for the entire luxury industry. Hermes isn't the only luxury giant facing major heat. Other high-end brands like Prada, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are playing the exact same game. They manufacture up to 98% of their products in China. Then add a simple zipper or button from Italy just to legally stamp "Made in Italy" on the label. It's a massive marketing scam that has fooled millions of consumers worldwide. The real secret behind luxury branding, it's all about perception. If a tag says "Made in France" or "Made in Italy," the world automatically assumes it's the highest quality. But in reality, that assumption couldn't be more wrong. So who's really crafting the bags everyone's obsessed with? Enter Satan Handbag, a powerhouse factory located in Kungwan City, Guangdong Province. This factory isn't some shady operation. It's been in the business for over 54 years and is responsible for producing a jaw-dropping 80% of the world's luxury handbags. Now that this truth is hitting the mainstream, resale markets are feeling the pressure. High-end bags that once commanded $25,000 price tags are losing value fast, as people realize they're often produced in the same factories as $400 knockoffs. Even more shocking, Tanner Leatherstein revealed that some luxury bags marketed as full calfskin were actually made with cheap PU-coated leather. This scandal exposes a much bigger lie luxury brands have fed consumers for decades: the myth that "made in China" equals poor quality. That idea is completely outdated. Today, Chinese factories are leading the charge in producing world-class leather goods, often using the same techniques, materials, and machines as their European counterparts. In fact, many mid-range brands and so-called knockoffs come from the exact same factories trusted by the biggest names in luxury fashion. The only real difference? The label and the markup. As more whistleblowers like Tanner step forward and consumers become better informed, the luxury market is being forced to reckon with some uncomfortable truths. Western brands can no longer hide behind glossy marketing campaigns and heritage myths. With the world waking up to who's really making their luxury goods, the entire industry is standing on shaky ground. The question now isn't just whether a bag is worth $25,000, it's whether the brand illusion can survive the truth. And let's not forget about the world of dupes, a growing secret in the luxury scene. Industry insiders reveal that even celebrities and influencers often carry high-end knockoffs while tagging the real luxury brands to maintain their glamorous image. Behind the scenes, a stylist might buy a replica, slap on a real brand logo, and suddenly their client is front row at Fashion Week. In today's fashion world, the system doesn't reward authenticity. It rewards the illusion of luxury. As long as it looks the part, nobody's asking too many questions. Next time you see your favorite celebrity flexing a luxury bag on Instagram or TikTok, think twice before assuming it's the real deal. There's a good chance they're rocking a dupe, and they don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's not the craftsmanship that sells, it's the brand name. Logos hold the real power. Luxury today isn't just about quality materials or handmade details. It's about selling the dream, and appearances are everything. Let's be honest. Luxury brands wouldn't dominate global fashion without celebrities flaunting their products like prized trophies. Think stars like Cardi B or Kylie Jenner are casually dropping $25,000 on a Birkin for their personal collections? Think again. Most of these high-profile luxury pieces are either gifted by brands or part of lucrative paid partnerships. The real luxury isn't just the bag, it's the placement. When a celebrity posts a $60,000 bag on Instagram or TikTok, it immediately sparks an emotional response, fueling trends and driving consumers into a buying frenzy. That's the hidden truth most shoppers don't realize. When you buy luxury, you're not simply paying for craftsmanship or premium materials. You're paying for the marketing machine behind it, the celebrity endorsement that convinces the world that owning that bag means you've made it. In reality, the leather used in a $60,000 designer bag could easily be the same quality as a $500 handbag produced in the same factory. What inflates the price is the celebrity association and the brand's storytelling, not the inherent value of the product itself. Today's fashion economy thrives on selling a fantasy, not a physical item. Luxury brands meticulously craft a narrative of exclusivity, prestige, and social status, using celebrities as their most powerful tools. Without these high-profile endorsements, the average consumer would have little reason to justify the outrageous markups attached to luxury goods. It's the allure of celebrity culture, more than the product itself, that keeps the luxury engine running. As consumers become more educated through exposés, viral videos, and insider leaks, the illusion is starting to crack. More people are realizing that the true product they're buying isn't the handbag, the shoes, or the belt. It's the dream. The dream sold to them through perfectly curated celebrity posts and billion-dollar marketing campaigns. And now, with the truth spreading faster than ever on YouTube, TikTok, and Google, the luxury world is facing a reckoning it can no longer ignore.